California. I'm Kayla Trapani, and I'm here at Columbia State Historic Park to tell you about Columbia and the gold rush. Since 1850, people have been mining gold. Until April 28, 1850, Columbia was called Hildreth's Diggings. Columbia was the largest mining camp in California. It was also the largest city with a population of 30,000 people. In 1854, Columbia had its first fire that destroyed all the town except for one brick building. In 1945, Columbia became a state historic park. Columbia had a very important role in California history. Hi, I'm here with Audie at the Columbia Museum to learn more about what women did during the gold rush. What did women do during the gold rush?
Well, women, when they came out here, were much more fortunate than we were back east. Because remember, California had belonged to Mexico until 1848. And those women had the right to divorce their husbands, they could own property, they could inherit property. Whereas we women who were back east, if we had any property when we got married, that belonged to our husbands. And if we inherited, that also belonged to our husband. So we had much more freedom out here. Now, as far as what they did, well, women didn't really have much opportunity to work back then until now in 1852. They passed a law here in California that women could own their own business. However, they had to have $5,000 of their own money, and many women do not have $5,000. Plus, the contract said they were responsible for their children. Well, that wasn't a very fair thing to do, so we did not have as many women go into business as we would have liked. But the business they went into, sometimes they maybe would make hats, because hats were popular. They had shops where they sold for women, and then they also would maybe make pies and sell to the miners. The miners loved homemade pies. Or they would have a boarding house. These were the type of jobs that the women did. Now, of course, we had some women that came in early before we did, the miners, and they were in the saloons and dance hall girls like that. And so that was a business that they were in. And some of them even owned saloons. So that was a different type of job that we did. And of course, a single woman very quickly got married because there were so many bachelors and they were anxious to get married and have their own place. So that's what happened also. So, you know, and after we came here with the Mexican War over, there was a unit called Stevenson's Battalion. They were all young men and they stayed out here. So we had a lot of young men that were here. They said most of the miners were between the ages of 18 and 25. You did not see old people here in the early days. So I hope this helps you know a little bit about what women did during the gold rush.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm here in front of Columbia Engine Company No. 2. It was formed in 1859 to protect the city from its devastating fires of the past. In 1854, Columbia had its first fire. It was said that it started at the corner of Broadway and Washington Streets in an empty house. The fire destroyed 6 blocks of buildings except one brick building. The fire cost the city over $500,000. People quickly rebuilt using bricks for the buildings, roofs, and steel doors for additional protection. The New England Water Company built 7 flumes underground for the firefighting use. The main construction was wood, so it was very easily burned down. The hook and ladder department saved the residential area because the buildings were far apart. This fire was something people learned from.
Welcome to the Columbia Firehouse. Fire was a very real threat in early mining camps. Many camps burned to the ground several times before brick and stone buildings replaced the temporary canvas tents and wooden shacks. Like most early towns, Columbia was proud of her firefighting equipment. We're still proud of it. The first fire engine used in Columbia was Papit. You can see it on display 4 doors west of the museum on the north side of State Street. These 2 hand-pulled, hand-operated fire engines have seen some mighty hard service over the past 100 years or so, and they are still in operating condition. Unlike a modern fire engine, these old-timers don't carry any water. They're just pumps. There weren't any fire hydrants in Columbia. Water for fighting fires was stored under the streets in large holes called cisterns. These cisterns are still beneath the square steel plates on Columbia's streets. Columbia Fire Company No. 2 bought the engine named Monumental in 1860 for $7,500. It is the only 4-cylinder hand pumper operating in California. It can throw 4 2.5-inch streams of water up to 200 feet. In order for this 5,000-pound engine to maneuver the narrow streets, both front and rear axles turn at the same time. 28 men can operate it with ease. Both Monumental and old Citizen No. 1 over there were built in New York. Citizen No. 1 is a 2-cylinder hand pumper that saw service in 6 eastern cities before coming to Columbia.
I'm standing here in front of Haynes Ditch. As the mining vitality of the 1850s and 1860s diminished, most mining claims were exhausted. Attention turned to hydraulic mining of vacant lots and untouched lots under buildings. The necessary water for this operation came from a stone flume or ditch constructed through the corner of town in September 1866 by Haynes and Company. With this ditch, water could be brought to almost any lot in town. Here in front of the Tuolumne County Water Company flume that brought water from about 20 miles away. During the gold rush, people needed water for placer mining. When the wet season came, people stayed and mined. But when the dry season came, people deserted the town to go to other mining camps. The reason Columbia had no water was because there were no ongoing streams or rivers. In 1852, the Tuolumne County Water Company came. They sold water for $6 an inch, also known as a miner's inch. The Tuolumne County Water Company got water from the Stanislaus River about 20 miles away. The company built a complex system of flumes, pipes, and ditches to carry the water. I'm in front of Columbia's Wells Fargo and Company Express. The Wells Fargo office building, complete with its iron shutters and fancy wrought iron balcony, is a gold rush classic which dates back to 1858. This branch of Wells Fargo is was one of the busiest in all of California. The local miners averaged $18,000 a day in gold from the surrounding countryside. I'm standing in front of the sluice box and I'm getting taught how to pan for gold.
So all the sand and gravel goes over the whistles, so they help keep the gold in, so it won't slide out. And put the pan down in the water, break up the gravel with your fingers, and then shake the pan back and forth, and when you shake the pan back and forth, the gold is so heavy it goes to the bottom of the pan, and that's where you want it. And then shake the pan, and dip it 1, 2, 3. Shake the pan, dip it 1, 2, 3. Shake the pan, dip it 1, 2, 3. And then when you get down to the bottom of the pan, it's going to get all black. Stop, shake it, turn the pan around, and rinse. And Eureka, there's gold. Yeah. So you did bring glue, right? Take your hand. Oh, take your bottle, fill it full of water. And then place it in that little hand next to you. And hold the hand with that hand. And then with that hand, dry your finger. And get the glue. Test 1 time. And carefully bring it over and tap it in the water. Check your finger. And then dry your finger. Get some more glue. Just keep doing that until it's all. And then you gotta make sure you get the glue. Okay, tap
try. Let me try.
Yeah. Always look for pretty stones. And then go down the bottom. Hand like that. Your hand hit the bottom. Try to hit the bottom. Okay. And then put the pen down in the water. Shake the pen back and forth. Like that. And then dip it a little bit.
I want to try finding one.
So go ahead and put that in your bottle. Keep the turquoise. Okay, and just shake it and dip it. Dip it 3 times.
Okay.
Shake it. Okay. Good luck.
During the gold rush in Colombia, many different mining techniques were used, from panning to hydraulic mining. Different techniques like panning, shoveling, they used picks, cradles, long toms, sluice boxes, hard rock mining, and hydraulic mining. With improved water delivery, people started to come up with better techniques. People moved over 60 feet of dirt and washed it through sluices to remove the gold. Using water power, they hoisted gravel from deep placer deposits to higher ground. In 1856, hydraulic mining arrived, and it was very profitable yet very destructive. Back then, people used big monitors to shoot water at high pressure. Miners blasted the gold from the ground. These mining techniques worked very well. If you would like to visit Colombia the first weekend of June, they are recreating the mining camp, as you can see here. I hope you enjoyed my